Crank it, yeah. Skirt. Oh, what it saying now? Hey, yeah. Talking shit that you don't know. Talking shit that you don't know. Talking shit that you don't know. You swear you got them choppers, but you low with 44. Talking shit that you don't know. Talking shit that you don't know. You steady claiming Pablo, but the whole hood know you juggle green half a O.
Titty sprinkles.
Titty motherfucking sprinkles. That's it right there, shot. I think we're live. So it is your boy Toeknee Tee, first in the 15th episode. Tree with my man Brom. How you doing, Playboy?
What's up?
Nah, man, say your artist name. Because I cannot that German E in the middle always fucks me up.
I don't think it's a German E.
When you put the little or the A, when you put the little,
it's rather French, I would say.
Okay.
So my artist name is Noëall.
Okay.
Because my second name is Noëll.
Yeah.
And that is French. So it's like
that'll be at the bottom of the screen. You guys can check him out later on.
Nice.
But yeah, man. So how you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
Good. I'm really excited.
Okay.
Because I'm about to throw the new party. With
Yeah,
the whole gang.
it's your what y'all call that for your datum or some shit like that. How you say birthday in Dutch?
Verjaardag. Oh no, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm also selling my birthday.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's about tonight.
Facts. It's like a dual celebration tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into all this shit. My man's Brom here. I invited him because he's been getting his feet wet in the music scene in the Netherlands since I've known him, which has been about 5 years, I believe.
I guess so, yeah.
Since about 2000. I think y'all met in 2014 with Jason and them.
I think so. I do remember when it was. Where it was in the Congo, right?
Yeah,
it was in the
yeah.
But,
Big shout out to Kronkel.
to the Congo, number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a little backstory. My man's, I met him in Nijmegen, but we're out here in Amsterdam at the moment right now. Beautiful set. I was thinking in the front, I was like, damn, that's a tight place to shoot a music video, like with a little balcony and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, my man's has been elevating with his DJing and his event organization, and so yeah, I brought him here to talk a little shit. So,
you want to talk some shit?
To get to it, how long you been doing music?
I guess 2019, 2010 I started because I just started making beats.
Okay.
Just boom bap 90s sample beats in 2010 I believe, or 9 with Fruity Loops.
Okay.
That's when
everybody kind of started with Fruity Loops. That was like the go-to, like, oh yeah, if you want to get the jump on, you can fuck with Fruity Loops.
I think so as well.
At least him, Eric.
Yeah, Fruity is just super nice. I remember in the beginning when the first few times that I found out about Fruity Loops, it was through a friend who had that. It's really easy to download.
Big thanks. Yep.
Yeah, and the sequencer in Fruity Loops is just super chill because it's like, those 16 squares,
little notes.
You can just fill in some drums. And to me, I've never done anything with music. I've never played any instrument. So for me, when I saw those 16, was it 16? I don't know. But I guess like 16 of those squares,
the
sequences, the drums. To me, that was everything already. I was like, I was just making drums, and I was like, yo, this is the hardest shit.
I see people having their like revelations on Fruity Loops and shit, but like for me, it was the opposite experience. I opened that motherfucker, and I was like, dude, I couldn't even. I wanted to like make the kick, and I couldn't make it go, man. I couldn't I didn't find the sequencer. I thought you had to like drum that shit in.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Ableton. I thought you had to drum, like, because with Logic, you find the keypad and then you're fine. You just drum that motherfucker in. But nah, with Fruity Loops, I downloaded that shit. It wasn't twerking. Went to Logic, wasn't twerking. Went back to Fruity Loops, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to chill for a little while.
Yeah. So what do you work on now then?
Now I'm back at Logic. Since 2016, when I started like really getting serious with my production, that's when I just stuck with Logic.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like
9? Logic 9?
I'm on 10 now.
10, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I tried 9, but then like that's when I went back to the Fruity Loops, and then when I came back, it was at 10.
So you started with 10.
Yeah, basically, 10. Yeah. When I got my feet wet, I was twerking with 10.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Like, what do you use in your tracks, in your lab, in your DJing?
Well, so yeah, I started off with producing, and that went pretty well until I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Because I did that together with Simon, DC,
Okay.
the guy that I told you about that you should.
Yeah, yeah. You
have
told
for
me.
the-
Yeah.
for
Big
this
shout
thing
out,
as well.
Simon. Hey.
Podcast. Yeah, man, you gotta get him in for sure.
Okay,
Shout out
okay,
Simon.
okay.
But yeah, I started making beats for him, and then we started doing hip hop shows, and that went until 2012, 13. Then I stopped because we were having we were having different views on where the music should go, so we stopped that.
Yeah.
And then I basically started Chocolade.
Okay.
So and that took so much time and energy and focus and effort that
It consumed you.
Yeah, the more that became a thing, the less I started. I kept on producing, and even later I started to study music production.
Yeah.
And then it became a little bit. I came to view it as homework.
Okay.
And
that's not some shit you want to do.
Yeah, and I started getting stuck in creative ways because I was, after a little while, I was doing all the same thing over and over again in my experience back then.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped, so I started DJing. But I don't even know what the question was now anymore.
It's okay.
Rewind this back.
It's okay.
But do you,
No, man, it's cool. It's chill. I like that you're going on because it's nice that, like I said, I like this to be like a cultural experience. And so my people are going to be looking these things like, what the fuck is Chocolata? That's one thing I wanted you to touch on, man.
Okay.
Like, I've been wondering, man, like, what's up with Chocolata these days? Tell these people about Chocolata because Chocolata was it was a party concept that's how I initially met them under. And it was very successful when I was going. Like, it was always packed. So, like, you know, like, you want to talk about that?
Sure. Chocolade is a party that we started in 2013, like I
Okay.
said. And it's still here. So we've been doing that for 7 years. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
That sounds like Planet Rose shit.
playing what?
Planet Rose, that like it's just like another organization in Nima, but they've been going on for like
Planet Rose. Yeah.
like
Sure.
hella long.
They've been going on for over 25 years now.
You know?
That's nuts. Yeah. So we're not there yet, but
I bigged you up too much.
we're not there yet. Yeah, but I hope we'll get to that point sometime. But Chocolade is a party. It's hip hop and R&B. It's one of the biggest and still longest running party in the east of the Netherlands for sure.
Okay.
Doing it that big, and I did it in 2013 because back then. To me, hip hop and R&B was still. It was on the come up, but it was just at the start of the come up. So in Nijmegen, there were barely any parties playing that type of hip hop and
music?
R&B,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
hip hop
yeah.
and R&B in general, because it was mainly techno and house.
Okay. I can
Um,
believe that because like there's still a shit ton of like electronic brands,
still
but
is,
but
yeah.
there's not so many like as y'all do. There's like y'all and Frode,
Yeah, and well,
which
there are
is
a couple
which is still two different things though.
Yeah, that's different. There are a couple of other organizations on where we kind of, in Dutch
Should've got
we
two
would say, in Dutch we would say vissen in dezelfde vijver, which is fishing in the same lake.
Yeah.
So it overlaps an audience that you're looking for to
Ah,
attract. But,
okay.
yeah.
I like that term of fishing in the same lake.
Yeah.
It's like you ain't in my lane, but you can creep over. You can slide over every now and then.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was thinking when I mentioned Frode because they're not necessarily in y'all's lane, but y'all share the same audience.
We share sort of the same audience, but we're
Yeah.
not in the same lane. We play also the music that they play, but
Yeah.
they are more specifically on
Into the
Afro.
Africa. Yeah.
Which is super dope. But Chocolade is more diverse in genres. They play some more genres.
It was really tight because when I came to the Netherlands, when I came to that area, I was still living in Clay, but like that's where I was getting my fix of like hip hop and R&B.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Because there wasn't too many other parties. Like you hear it in like the bars, but it's all the mainstream kind of shit, and it's like I want to like turn the fuck up.
Yeah.
I want somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. It can't be replaced by Spotify. And that's what y'all were doing. So big ups with that shit, Playboy.
Thanks. Yeah, I've seen you a couple of times in the crowd, man.
Getting crunk.
You were getting crunk as hell.
So you mentioned Afro. To my understanding, Afro is a big part of, or not a big part of, but it's one of the key factors of SUASU.
SUASU.
Am I correct?
I think so. Yeah. So what we're trying to do with SUASU and the sound of SUASU, in my opinion, is very interesting and something I'm really excited to do, which is we try to find the middle ground between Afro and house, basically.
Okay.
So we try to find the sweet spot in between there, and we play like in both sections. We play genres that
There's
are
two
related.
sections here.
Well, no, sections as in Afro
Oh.
and genres. Okay, well let's just call them genres then.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah,
in the
yeah,
same
yeah.
areas of the
Yeah, yeah.
genres,
Yeah.
we play genres that are related. So, related in our opinion. So with the house sound, we also play broken beat. We
Okay.
also play disco, which is to me related to house. Those type of things.
Yeah.
Garage. UK funky.
You've
which is
always
also
been a
that.
UK fan as
Yeah, I
long as
love
I've known
UK.
you. That's their shit.
And in the Afro side, we also play funk, which to me is more in the area of Afro than to house.
Yeah.
And what was it again?
I thought there was like 4 main kinds of
Baila
like,
funk, which is Brazilian, but I mean that's rhythmically that's also like very swingy. So it's like we play mainly both house and Afro, and then find what's in between and around there.
So, like, where did y'all come up with this concept though? Because, like, I mean, as far as I know, there's like Afro parties. Like, everything is kind of segregated here. Like, nobody likes
Yeah.
to blend shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, where did y'all grow the balls to just be like, you know what? Let's throw that shit together. Because I respect that. Because with Set Tripp'n, we like to do hip house. Like, that was our big thing starting up.
Of course.
Like, you know, and so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
like we'd have like a hip hop room over here and a house room over here, and
Yeah.
then like sometimes they like, you know, I might jump on the fucking house track and like drop some bars. So like, you know, I felt kind of bold doing that type of shit.
Yeah, I
you
get
know,
that. Yeah.
But like, where did y'all figure out like, you know what, let's these things kind of go together. They can all shake that ass together.
We came on that idea because the same as the title of the party is called SUASU. SUASU is a song by Melle and Pete Philly. Melle is one of the DJs.
Big
And
shout
Pete-
out, Mella.
Yeah, shout out to Melle and Pete Philly, because Pete Philly is also the MC here.
Okay.
And they did a track together last summer. Well, they did multiple tracks, but last summer they did that track. And for that track, they organized a release party.
Okay.
And that was in August. It was in in June or in August. I don't know. Well, anyway, it was in the summer in Amsterdam. And well, usually it's just hard to do anything inside during the summer because everybody
It's hot
goes to
as fuck.
festivals. Yeah, and everybody goes to festivals. But so we did the release party for that song in the Kopstoot bar, which is the Leidseplein in Amsterdam.
Shout out Liza Plein.
Shout out Leidseplein. And well, I got booked by Melle, and Laza got booked, the other resident here as well. He got booked, and I just sent him a app message like saying like, "Yo, what kind of music do you want me to play?" And he basically said anything groovy. It was like, doesn't really matter, you know the song, and just play just anything that just grooves.
Yeah.
And well, it just came to those genres that I just summed up. And then we just played that party, and it was packed during the summer. It was full completely, and it just went off like crazy. Yo, Lars.
What's up?
We hebben even een podcast, man.
How's it
check
going,
this
Liza?
out. But yeah, so we just did a release party, and it was packed, and it was super nice, and the music was super dope, and we just noticed that people just came through. They didn't even know what party they were.
Yeah.
But
they were
the
just
music,
vibing.
They were just
it was
vibing.
enough
The
to
music
stay.
is super inviting,
Yeah.
and it's super dynamic because you can throw it in any direction whenever you need to. Because if you want to do a little housey, you can do house, and then everybody likes house. And if you want to do Afro or you want to go a little deeper, you can shift it
I
in
like
any
shit
direction.
like that personally because, you know, it's not that I judge people on their music taste, but I do because maybe
Me
because
too.
I make
Of course.
maybe
All the
because I
time.
make music, but it's like, you know, it's like if we're somewhere and you can just dance to whatever, because as long as this guy swing, I can dance to it.
Yeah,
So
sure.
if there are other people that are like that, then I feel like that's a good vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Like it must have been a really good atmosphere. If everybody's like, you know what, the scene switched up, but we're still vibing, like
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like I'm really excited to see, because my man's told me, he said you got to stay real long because the scene is gonna switch up kind of every hour. And I was like, okay. So it's a real dynamic kind of party. It's not one of those things where you get like bored as fuck, because that happens a lot in the music scene. I feel like, sometimes if the DJ after him doesn't play the same song as he did before, like
it often gets static.
Yeah, man, it just feels kind of like ugh. That's cool. So tonight is the very first, like the first official like night though. How was the pre-party?
Yeah, so we did the thing I just told you about. That was basically an unexpected pilot, because afterwards we were like, yo, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
So and then apparently that was the pilot.
Yeah.
And then we did we made sure that we could do our first official edition here.
Yeah.
And while that was in the works, we basically thought like, okay, maybe we should in between do a pre-party already, just for our friends and some, because it was on the 3rd of January, and it's a very small spot, but just for our friends to get to know the sound and see what we're doing and to get something going
Get used
already.
to it.
And also like as some sort of a second pilot to really get a feel
Build
for what
momentum
we're
and
doing.
shit. Yeah. I think that's really important when it comes.
We just did that, and the pre-party was really nice as well. It was the 3rd of January, but the place only held like 75 people or 100 people, and they were there, so it was like a very small. It was like a very small place.
I seen
but
the pictures, though. It was turned the fuck up in there.
Yeah, it was really
up.
Yeah. But the sound was horrible, and the place was really small, and it was the 3rd of January, and it was from 9 until 3. But it was just, again, so inviting and so danceable. Is that a word, danceable?
Yeah, we are. It is today.
Okay, I'm just, yeah.
No,
so
in the Netherlands, he stresses the 3rd of January because in the Netherlands, they either need like a holiday or really bad weather to totally cancel their plans for the evening. Like it doesn't, because they're usually on bikes, and so they don't want to be rainy and shit like that. So yeah. That's cool though. So tonight, do you have any expectations?
Expectations. I don't really know what to expect, because Amsterdam is real different than what I'm used to, which is Nijmegen.
Yeah.
In Nijmegen,
I want to talk about that later, actually.
Sure. In Nijmegen, you do a lot of pre-sales.
Okay.
And that
those are more important.
That is like mostly three-quarters of your sales already.
Yeah.
At the door, basically.
So you don't expect people to show up on the door like that?
No, usually people in Nijmegen, just like the last 150 tickets are sold at the door or something.
Okay.
And usually you already sell everything before. But in Amsterdam, that's not the case at all. We've sold, I'll be honest, we sold 20 tickets. But that doesn't, well, to me, it actually says it should be going well.
Yeah.
Because I've talked with other people since I've been living here, and people barely sell tickets in
beforehand.
advance. Yeah, barely. So,
I
but
believe
it's just no
believe
indication. So I don't really know what's going to happen tonight.
I think so too, because Amsterdam it's like many metro cities where people don't really know what they're going to do till midnight or something.
Yeah.
You know, anything can change their plans. They may figure out a party over here, like, oh, let's go over there instead.
Yeah. Because you have so many choices, and in Nijmegen, it's like either you go to the party that's going on now, or you're not going out.
It's popping,
or you're not going out. Well, for a lot of people, that's the case.
See, one thing I think attributes to that is that in Dutch culture, y'all are more about your groups. In America, we have our groups as well, but with y'all, it's like if you don't go out with your group, you're not going out.
Oh, like that. I guess so. Yeah, I guess I don't know what it's like in the States, but
in America, like, don't get me wrong, we still go out with our groups, but it's like if somebody goes to the bar by themselves, it's not uncommon.
Okay.
And then we just like meet people along the way. And
yeah. No, I would say usually people go together in the Netherlands. Yeah. I think so.
So, tell the people this, because I don't fully know. What would you say your role is? Is your role in SUASU the same as your role in Chocolate? And if so,
no.
Okay.
No, my role here is what I often say is that I sort of lead, but I'm not the boss. Everybody's the boss. Everybody
like a collective,
owns.
Cool.
Yeah. Everybody.
No, you're cool.
Thank
you, though.
Yeah. But no, this is a non-profit party anyway, so we're not doing it for money anyway.
Sure.
And we're doing this with 8 people.
Yeah.
And everybody sticks in the same amount of money, and everybody is covering the same amount of cost, and everybody gets, if there is any revenue, then it gets split evenly over 8 people.
That's easy. It's easy to manage when it's like that.
Yeah. So and I just have the most experience, and I had the initiative. Everybody has a role, and my role is sort of the general manager or something.
Okay,
And I'm a
okay.
DJ, of course.
Yeah.
But everybody has their own thing that they're good in, and it's just a collective thing.
So when you were at Chocolata, did you have more work on your hands or less?
I think
Because Chocolata was a kind of a small organization as well, too, right?
Chocolade was a really small organization. It was just me and Don Roosje. We did a lot together, and next to that we had
Shout
a
out
couple
Don
of,
Roosje.
Shout out Don Roosje. And next to that we had a couple of people, but they were on the payroll. So that's I would say that's in this stage where I'm at with SUASU, that was easier because you could just lay some. People on the payroll, they deliver on time and all that stuff, and if everything
because to them it's more of a job, and it's not like something that they're.
This is just for fun. That was work. This is really for fun.
Yeah.
So that's a difference. But I would say I still think because the stakes were higher at Chocolate, and I would say that is
because you had to because y'all were constantly having to fill out Don Roger.
It was my job back then, which is not what it is anymore. But it used to be my main income for a period, and the stakes were really high for that. So back then I was really busy with this, but now since we're in SUASU at the startup phase, it's really busy for this as well. But that's gonna settle, and then
they'll be comfortable.
Then I think it will be nice because then I'm with 7 other people that all know what they have to do, and then it gets in a routine.
True. Like once everybody's up to speed, then you can chill out a little bit. It won't be so chill.
And it's a big difference if you want to fill a capacity of 1,500 people or 1,100 instead of 300.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah, because Don Roger, I had a lady friend. She told me that she knew on the low that when it comes to Don Roger, they want that bitch full every time.
I would think so. Yeah.
Because unless for them it's not worth it. It's damn.
Well, they of course for them it's also very worth it to culturally push stuff even if the room is not full.
Okay.
Because they are a pop podium.
True.
That's how we call it.
Yeah. I've seen that on many a flyer, but what does that technically mean for the people?
Well, it basically means
for the people who ain't from the Netherlands, a pop podium.
I don't know the definition, but I mean culturally and what it means to in regard of your question, does it matter if the venue is full or not? In that sense, it means that it's not a commercial thing. They don't have to sell out. They have to provide culture, interesting culture.
Okay.
I think that is what it's about.
In the Netherlands, I see this sign all the time where they say without art there is no culture or something like that.
I think it's without earth. Without art, the earth is just Isn't that the thing?
Something like that, yeah. Something along those lines. I've seen that many ways in Netherlands.
Meme also.
Yo, they're dead ass about that shit.
I don't know how it is where you're from, but
it's the opposite, man. It's like all right, everybody in America, they know if you're an entertainer, you can get a shit ton of money and be a superstar and all that. But because it's so few people that can make that, you tell your parents you want to be a singer or something, and be like, yeah, get the fuck on.
I thought that wasn't. I thought that everybody in America thought they was going to be in sports or on the stage.
Oh hell yeah! No, everybody wants to be, but everybody whose parents are saying no, it's like the winning the lottery.
Yeah, of course, but that's what it is.
It's literally like winning the lottery.
Yeah, but I think that's what it is anyway. Somebody's trying.
Somebody is motherfucking trying. You hinted on it before, and so I wanted to ask you, what is the main difference between the Nijmegen scene versus Amsterdam? Or you can kind of tie it in, how is it to operate in a small area versus operating in the big city, doing the same similar thing?
Different. There's so many sides. I'm not sure how to which ones to cover.
Pretty goddamn technical.
We said a couple of things already. So for example, here it doesn't mean shit how many pre-sale you have, and in Nijmegen it does mean a lot because they either are coming or not. And here you have no idea.
Yeah.
It's also different because there's a different audience, I would say. In Amsterdam, it's I mean, it's the capital, so you can go a little bit more niche here. I would say you have a little more. There are just more people, so there are more people with that weird ass quirky taste that you might have. You know.
I was thinking about that shit because like Nijmegen is very student based, whereas Amsterdam, because like in Nijmegen, I kind of struggle finding people over 30 or over 20, 27. Whereas in Amsterdam, I bet there's a shit ton of those people, and they just don't know what to do. Like they just want to do different shit all the time. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nijmegen is really a student city. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you is it? Would you say it's less effort then, since you don't have to pack out the place? Like, I mean, because you still have to put in the same effort to like get people here, but do you think it's like less pressure?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I just know I would say it's a fact that if you want to do niche stuff, it's easier to do it but that's like a general rule. I would say it's easy to do in a place where there are more people than there are less people.
Yeah,
because it's just
more
about how many of those 1 in 1,000 quirky people
live in that area,
right? Yeah, there's
smart,
and that's just mathematics, I would say.
So, you've been DJing for forever.
Well, not forever.
When I say forever, I mean as long as I've known you. But like, when you jumped out the potion, like moved here to Amsterdam, like you was pretty quick with like the gigs. Have you always been independent, or do you work with an agency, anything like that?
I don't. I've always been independent. But what I just think I did it right. Not to say that I made it, because not at all. But I had quite a few gigs when I moved here, and that was the idea, and I think I handled that well. But that is because I've been organizing parties, like I said, for 7 years, maybe even longer, and more than one concept as well. So I had the opportunity through that to book a lot of DJs in the Netherlands, for example, but also abroad. But a lot of them in the Netherlands, and after 7 years. It's like you've booked them almost all. Well, for Chocolade, I've booked almost every Dutch DJ that we really wanted to book. Well, I mean, in 7 years, you should have been able to book.
That's a good accomplishment, though. Like you can really like.
It's really nice.
You marked it off like who the fuck you wanted to work with.
Yeah, that's really dope. But through that, I got to know a lot of people, and a lot of DJs have their own parties, or a lot of DJs. Run events or whatever, you know, anyway, if you know,
the network was strong.
I think so, yeah, because I moved here a year and a half to pursue DJing more seriously, and I just rung up all the people that, the first, I see it, I look at it as rings of like social rings, like and then in like a booking sense or something. But for me, step one was to check everybody that I've booked before that has parties themselves, and just ring like, yo, I'm trying to get this DJing thing off the ground. Can I play at your party? Maybe for €0, maybe for 100, maybe for 200. That didn't really matter back then.
That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of artists don't. They think that like. They think, you know, they got 1,000 plays on their SoundCloud mix, and they think that they're the shit, and they're like, nah, bitch, I need money every time. Like, fuck that shit. And it's
I
like,
just
no.
wanted to be playing in clubs.
I think that matters. Like when you're trying to get your experience, get your feet wet, get your name ringing, like you really kind of got to put in the work. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's free, sometimes it's for whatever. I think it's for me, it's whatever the deal makes sense for you. Whatever, if you feel like you can get something out of it, then maybe it was worth going there and receiving just dinner or something.
Yeah, there's so much more worth to find than just payment.
They say a lot of people don't realize that opportunity doesn't always have $1.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah. I can say I've been working in the music industry for over 8 years now, I would say, and yes. Yes.
Dude, it's like we're all artists, and so we're all independent as fuck. But I used to be a car salesman for Mercedes, and like that's just like some cutthroat shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make pennies, sometimes you slap them over the head.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, here everybody wants to do what you're doing. Everybody wants to be a DJ, so you've got to be willing to be the free DJ that murks the place
to get it. But then sometimes it like you get other gigs that make up for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I have that now. The first year I started here, I had 80 gigs. I don't know how many I got paid. I didn't care.
That's work though. That's work. 52 weeks in the year, and you did 80 gigs. That's work, boy. That's work, boy.
Yeah, but I worked at it. But now I don't have as many gigs anymore. The scene has changed a little bit as well because I had a lot of niche, weird things that I could play, and they kind of died out. That's a pity because I was resident at a lot of weird parties.
Scenes? Cool.
Well,
cool,
weird
cool.
scenes. Well, it's not weird, but it's just not commercial, not like that. But they all kind of stopped. But I still have a few residencies here and there, and they pay well. So that's.
I heard that's
really
the key. Like in America, we don't really hear about residencies unless you're in Las Vegas or something like that. But once I moved abroad to Australia, I started hearing about people getting residencies in Ibiza and shit like that. And I was like, oh, like that's smart as fuck. Like you just show up every week, people expect you, and you just get that guala, like, and go to the beach the rest of the weekend.
It doesn't pay that much, but my main thing is being a DJ now, and that was what I wanted to be when I would go here.
So tell us, people who aren't into the music industry, like, what are some key DJ struggles? Like, what's something that's like that just happens all the time? Besides, like, no matter how you put your USB in, it's going to be the wrong way.
DJ struggles. DJ struggles. I can only speak for my own experiences, of course.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I recognized that you really have to take your hours in, put your hours in at venues to really get used to many different situations as a DJ.
Yeah.
Because you have to have music for every situation. And that can be being the closer and having to tear down the thing, or being the closer and having to tear down the thing, but there are only 20 people. Or opening when there's nobody, so that you have to, or playing at a festival, and every unexpected thing you have to have been through there. So DJ struggles in that sense. In the beginning, I found myself often at situations where I was like, fuck, what am I going to play for this situation? It's weird.
That's the worst shit ever. For me, it was running out of music. Like, when I was in Australia, I had to do, like, 5-hour sets, and I just my first set, I remember, like, I literally got to, like, the last song in my library. Oh. And I was like, after that, I'm done. And oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So, like that. Like, if you play at a party and you still don't have enough music that covers enough moods, and you're like, okay, this works, but then you find out, like, okay, this vibe works, but I only have 4 songs left of this
then
vibe.
you're fucked.
Then you're fucked. Yeah. So yeah, that would be a DJ struggle, I would say, for a beginner.
So DJs have a perfect library, like, diversity in the motherfucker.
You should already be like a guy that has a lot of music or listens to a lot of music and a lot of sorts of music, and before you should be starting to DJ, or you should be really specific and not care about all those things or something.
Damn, you
could also do that. Yeah, but I mean, you could also be maybe some EDM house DJ and be like, I only play at festivals. Then you narrow down your situations that you might encounter. Yeah,
you narrow the audience that wants to retain your shit. Yeah,
and then you don't. I mean, then you don't have to have I don't know, soul tracks.
You gotta be lucky if you're doing shit like that. Straight up. if you get to that stats where it's like, I play what the fuck I want to play, like.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Before we head out, do you have anything you want to announce to the people, as much as what you want or as little as you want? Any shout outs you want to give? Just do your thing.
Anything. I don't like to announce a lot of shit because
that's fine. That's fine. You ain't, like I said, as much or as little as you want to say. It's cool. It's cool. We're gonna have enough time tonight. We're gonna put in a few scenes of the party later tonight, so you guys can catch the vibe as well. But any shout outs?
Well, like I said, shout out to Simon, because I think you should have him on. He's
Simon, he really has been harping on you, so I'm gonna look you up, Playboy.
Yeah. I thought you already knew him, and shout out to everybody in Nijmegen who's watching this. You know who you are. I'm not gonna name everybody, but you know who you are. And shout out to you, because
ain't no thing but chicken wing, Playboy. Wait, that's it. 1st and the 15th, episode 4, episode 3. Excuse me. We'll fuck with y'all later. We'll be coming off of the Camp Trapathon month, and so excuse us for not seeing us for a while, but we'll see you when we see you, bitches. Peace. Hey, yeah. Let me tell you a little tale I know.
Better be careful who you callin', bro. Better be careful how you move your ways. Cause one day your ass be the one that pay. Hey, hey, let's get it. It was some time ago, let's keep it on the low. Here's a story about some ratchet shit down the I-4.